This video focuses on grade descriptors that you might find in assignment briefs. In this video, we'll look at what students are assessed on at Manchester Metropolitan University, interpret the language used by the university, and think about how you can build key skills. The first descriptor that we use is to apply skills of critical analysis. So what does this mean? First of all, it's asking you to question information. Don't just take things at face value. Ask who's writing this? Why are they writing it? What's actually being said? Where was it published? What's the key message? You can also apply theory to practice. For example, if you're doing a vocational course like nursing, you could be looking at some academic theory and thinking about how that might work in your professional practice and to what extent it would be effective. It's also asking you to compare and contrast different resources. You're expected to read widely at university, and so you might find different theories that actually say the same thing, or people who have very contrasting points of view. So it's important that you learn how to what we call synthesize, which is drawing themes together, and also show evidence that you're aware of contrasting opinions and your assignment isn't just one-sided. Relating to this, you're being asked to look at the bigger picture. You need to be objective and not just show what your opinions are. You want to present a balanced argument with evidence that you've looked at as much evidence as possible and come to an informed conclusion. If this sounds intimidating, don't worry. There's plenty of support for developing your critical skills once you get to university. For example, at Manchester Metropolitan, we have a number of short workshops that all focus on criticality, and we also have a short course called the Criticality Project, which you can attend in your spare time and focuses on lots of different aspects of criticality. The second descriptor is to demonstrate a high degree of professionalism. This means that you need to be motivated and manage your time. You need to show that you can meet deadlines and that your work doesn't look rushed or that it's just been pulled together at the last minute. You need to demonstrate initiative and creativity. For example, if you're not clear on something, your tutors will like it if you ask questions and that you engage in sessions and that you show your understanding during your seminars and your lectures. Also, creativity might come into play if, for example, you are studying something to do with art and design, or you're being asked to create something new. How innovative can you be? Finally, you need to show commitment to learning through participation. This relates back to what we talked about earlier in this topic on attendance. You need to demonstrate that you're willing to turn up to your sessions, potentially show up to sessions that aren't in your timetable, that have been put on additionally. For example, you might be given opportunities to ask tutors questions, to engage with your personal tutor, to meet a tutor during office hours, or just attend an additional session that's been put on that's there to support you. For example, at MMU, the study skills team regularly comes in to different tutorials to talk about aspects of study that might be related to an upcoming assignment. The third descriptor is to express ideas effectively. This is to do with how you develop your written and verbal communication skills. Being able to write clearly and professionally is a key skill at university. Again, at Manchester Metropolitan, we have several writing courses that you can sign up for, as well as workshops that help you to develop your academic writing. Verbal communication is also important. This isn't just for assignments like presentations, where you're asked to talk formally about a particular topic. It also means your ability to engage in discussions in seminars, in workshops, and asking questions if something isn't clear to you. It's also about communicating appropriately and accurately. You want to make sure that all of the information that you include in assignments is as accurate as possible and you're not speculating or making guesses. Sometimes there aren't clear answers, but therefore you need to demonstrate that you're aware of this. You also need to use formal academic English. Finally, you need to develop skills using a range of media and ICT. You need to demonstrate that you are comfortable using the software that's appropriate for your course. This could just be using Microsoft tools like Word or Excel. There could be more specialist software that you need to learn to use, depending on your course. Descriptor 4 is develop working relationships. You need to demonstrate your ability to work in a team. Often at university, you will be asked to produce something as part of a team or a pair. You need to demonstrate that you can do this professionally and that you can manage your own time. Set up meetings with your partner or your team in order to produce the work. And finally, that you can produce something that's effective and meets the task that's been set. You can also use this to develop your leadership skills. How clearly can you communicate? If things are going off track, are you able to refocus your group? Also, recognize and respect different perspectives. We all have our own ideas about how things should be done, but part of learning and growing is to take into account other people's ideas and perspectives while still making sure that your voice is heard. You don't want to railroad anyone or make someone feel like they're not being heard. Descriptor 5 is managing professional development. This is where you might reflect on your progress. You can do this using feedback you get from your assignments, or you can do this as part of a discussion in a tutorial. Take action suggested in feedback. For example, you might have feedback on an essay that says that you need to work on the structure. Therefore, you might take an action to attend a workshop on how to structure paragraphs. Look into developing your academic writing skills, or look at sample essays that have evidence of good structure. Also thinking ahead and making the most of opportunities. University isn't just about attending classes. Think about what else might be available to you while you're at university that could benefit your development or your future career. Are there any activities that you can sign up for? Are there any opportunities through your course that might be of interest to you? Descriptor 6 is demonstrate research skills. You need to show that you can find appropriate resources to develop your subject knowledge. You also need to demonstrate that you can interpret information and apply it to assignments. This is where the library is going to become really useful to you. When you start university, visit the library and make sure that you're comfortable using the resources. As part of your induction, there will probably be tutorials that are focused on the library. Make sure that you attend these if you can, as they will be really helpful when it comes to finding information you need. You should also become comfortable using a range of sources. Previously, you may have had experience using textbooks or websites to gather information. At university, you'll be using a far broader range of resources. For example, at university, you will have access to a wide range of academic journals. Descriptor 7 is be aware of social contexts of discipline. This means that you should be able to consider your subject in light of historical, political, and social issues. For example, Was there something going on politically at the time a resource was written that may have influenced the author? You should also be aware of how your learning could apply to your future career. Think ahead to what might be useful and what skills you might need to develop. In summary, grade descriptors for individual assignments will be slightly different every time, so make sure that you read them and understand what you're being assessed on. Keep the general grade descriptors that we've just discussed in mind as you progress, as these are the key skills you'll need to develop at university.